Now, the thesis statement is critical for truly any essay you're ever going to write. I believe, and there's lots of different ways to do a thesis statement, but I believe there are three characteristics that any strong thesis statement should have, and there's other characteristics it could have. First of all, it needs to be clear. It needs to convey the main point clearly. There needs to be clarity and not any muddy language. You need to be very clear what you're trying to say. It needs to be argumentative. It can't just present an observation. It needs to make an argument. You need to take a stance on the topic you're writing on. And lastly, it needs to be specific. It needs to set you up for a loud exploration, detailed exploration, and evidence presentation. It can't be too broad because it will come back and bite you. You'll end up with a really unstructured and vague essay with no real argument. This is really important. I've tried to outline it further here by looking at how these three characteristics map onto poor and good thesis statement examples. And this is just stuff that I've pulled and written up. You'll see throughout this presentation that I make use of examples. These are usually pulled out in tables like this to the side or bottom of the slides. So as an example here in clarity, the issue with the first example is that words like important stuff don't really cover what you're trying to argue. Also, but could extend what they teach fails to build on that. A good thesis statement example here would be public schools should focus more on teaching practical life skills such as personal finance and communication to better prepare students for adult responsibilities. It's a clear argument. Same here with the argumentative characteristic. Rather than just an observation, and many people use social media platforms daily, it's necessary to take stats. And lastly, specific. Climate change affects the planet adversely. We all know that. It's a very broad statement, and it doesn't really set you up to actually write on anything that important. Now, an approach when you're trying to come up with a thesis statement is to take this whatever broad topic you're presented with. This could very well be your John Locke essay question. I find quite often John Locke essay questions are not that broad, they're more narrowed. So here it would be more beneficial to think of you as starting at that narrow point. So you've narrowed in from here, the example is from health benefits of a diet to health benefits of a plant-based diet. And allows us to build a specific thesis statement on the adoption of a plant-based diet significantly reduces the risk of disease and diabetes by lowering blood pressure and improving cholesterol levels. That's a very clear argument. It is an argument and it's very specific. So that's how you can narrow down and really set yourself up. Again, the thesis statement is an essential part of your introduction, but not just your introduction. It's an essential part of your entire essay. And really, really encourage you to spend some time thinking about it. And this is one part of the introduction that you should have done before you start writing. This is your argument. This is the crux. This is the core of your paper.